Hello, my name is Ivan Rodriguez, and this is my informative speech on the importance of sleep for Speech 101. So, have you ever gone to class late after only a few hours of sleep on an empty stomach, only to start feeling yourself drifting away? You're trying to pay attention to what the teacher's saying, but it all just starts turning into gibberish, and your vision starts blurring as your eyes are closing, and you don't really recognize that you're falling asleep, and before you ever do, you're already drooling all over your desk. Most of us have experienced this situation. I personally have. At one time or another, where we don't want to fall asleep, but our bodies force us to because we have received an unsatisfactory amount of rest the night before. The following information I want to present to you today, most of it comes from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. As well, I also have a study from Harvard. But today I would like to present you with the positive and negative mental and physical effects of sleep. First, I would like to discuss the effect of sleep on your mental health. We all know good night's rest will allow you to wake up feeling refreshed and ready to start the day. But few know just how detrimental sleep deprivation can be to your brain. Dr. Merrill Milton, Dr. Merrill Milter is not one of those people. He is a sleep expert at NIH, and he states loss of sleep impairs your higher levels of reasoning, as well as your problem solving and attention to detail skills. Basically, every single aspect of your brain is affected by sleep, from our mood to our perception. You'll think more clearly, respond faster to stimulus, and focus better for longer periods of time if you get at least 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night, depending on your age range. Most importantly, an extended period of sleep deficit can increase your risk for developing depression and anxiety, which is horrible. We don't want that. On the opposite end of the spectrum, good sleep has hundreds of positive effects on mental health. A study from the UK found consistently better sleep resulted in less cases of insomnia, paranoia, and hallucinations caused by insomnia. Also, they found a slight reduction in psychotic experiences from chronic insomnia, which is amazing because I can imagine having a psychotic experience is probably not preferable. The study stated the sleep treatment was associated with significant reductions at all time points in insomnia, paranoia, and hallucinations compared with the control group. The reduction in insomnia after treatment was large, while the reduction in psychotic experiences was small. 62% of the treatment group exhibited such a low severity of insomnia that if they were to re-register for the study with the scores that they had at the end of the study, they wouldn't be eligible because they had such a low such a low severity of insomnia for that specific time, um, because as it also found, these positive effects will only last if participants continue the sleep habits that they formed during the study. Because if they revert to their old ways, it will have a negative effect and revert back to the same um, amount of insomnia and paranoia, bad stuff. Insomnia can also affect every tissue of our body on the physical side. So let's look at some of the consequences. On the surface, insomnia has been linked to longer than normal healing of skin tissue, collagen growth, and skin dehydration. So if you spend an hour a night on your skin routine and you're still waking up with rough patches or ashiness, maybe it's time to look into trying to put that extra hour of work into getting better rest. Under the skin, though, we have the muscle, and sleep very heavily impacts muscles. It can impact growth as well as the tone of your muscle. So if you're not getting that good 8 hours of rest, you're not gonna see potentially as much physical gain when you do exercise. And a study from 2011 found up to 40% muscle mass increase for participants that maintained 8.5 hours of sleep per night over just a 72-hour period. So for only 3 days, they had to get consistently at least 8.5 hours of sleep. And from that, they noticed, or they concluded that they had up to a 40% muscle mass increase, over the course of all the participants. On the flip side, a control group who only were restricted to 5.5 hours of rest of sleep lost up to 60% of their muscle mass, which is a huge setback for anybody who's trying to lift weights professionally. Imagine losing more than half of your strength just from not getting a good night's rest. And that's often how we feel. And it's funny to see that how we kind of perceive it to feel like we don't have any strength, we're so tired. Like, that is, on a physical level, literally what is happening. And on the flip side, of course, receiving good sleep consistently can make you feel almost twice as strong, which sounds amazing. That alone, for me, is reason enough to prioritize sleep. Sleep can even affect the health of your bones. Similar to how it affects muscles, bone density can be reduced if poor sleep is habitual. As well as the health of your joints can decline if you're getting consistently bad sleep. I've noticed that I sometimes wake up having to crack, a lot of bones in order to feel, like I have good posture after I get a bad night's rest, or if I only sleep for a few hours. Lastly, sleep has a major repercussion on your immune system. Multiple studies have reported that well-rested people have received who have received the flu vaccine were better protected from the virus than people with chronic poor sleep. On the same note, people suffering from even more serious illnesses like cancers or HIV can benefit in the same way. As the body can absorb medicines better when properly rested, and some have even found a higher white blood cell count um, from better sleep behaviors. So, what have we learned? Sleep affects much more than just our ability to wake up feeling refreshed. It affects every aspect of ourselves, from our mood to our personality to our skin and our bones, which are amazing reasons you should make getting at least 8 hours of sleep a top priority. 8 to 10, please. Before I researched this topic, I only knew sleep was important for your overall health, but I had no idea how deeply integral it was. I hope I was able to share what I've learned with you, and I hope it helps someone who may be dealing with insomnia. Thank you. Have a good night.